Hey, this is Will, and I'm at Backyard Outdoors, and we're here up on the Wolf River in Wisconsin, in Kashina, Wisconsin, and we're having a good time today. Me and the wife, we've been on a nice little vacation. We decided to top it off with a little bit of whitewater rafting on the Wolf River. Now, I'm going to tell you what, we got a little beer in the fridge, we got some paddle, we got some water, we got some beef stacks, we got everything that you need to have a good time. And you know what the beauty of this is? Except for the travel expenses, it's all under about $80. And the thing is you can go whitewater rafting for 2 adults for $35 a piece. I'm not sure what the kids are because we don't have any anymore that are young. So you can get up here for about 70 bucks on the water, and it's a beautiful day. They're two-man CB rafts. You're not in gang rafts like you see in the out west and stuff like that. You're pretty much on your own hook. They give you a raft, they give you paddles, they give you life jackets, they give you a little bit of instruction, and then they turn your ass loose. Now the thing is these rapids go anywhere from class 1s to class 5s. Depending on how high the water is. Now this year, we got some water that's up, that's really, really good. We're in three-man CB rafts, you're on your own hook, and there's a little bit of skill that we'll get into later on, but damn little skill to be honest with you, because no matter what you do, it doesn't really freaking matter. Alright, so, we're going to have some fun here today on the Wolf River, on these rapids, and big courtesy of Big Smoky Falls, Ralph's Big Smoky Falls here in Kashina, because that's who we always go through. And there's a number of other rafting establishments along the way, along the river up here, but we don't use those. We use Big Smoky Falls for Ralph. Now, the reason is because we've been coming up here with the Boy Scouts and everything else for the last few years. So, on that note, this is Will, and you're at Backyard Outdoors, and we'll see you in a little bit. Hey, I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors, and we're out here on the Wolf River today. And you know what this show's about? This show's about things that you can do out of your own backyard. And the beauty of the Wolf River is it comes in pretty cheap with if you go camping and everything else. But you got to remember, you got to book in advance for your camping spots here. There's 2 or 3 places you can go. You can go to Nicollet National Forest, which is a first come, first serve. So if you get there and there ain't no room, then you're SOL. And then there's Rusting Camping, which is down the road a little bit from Big Smoky Falls. And the thing with that is it's pretty primitive. It's basically outhouses and open showers, and that's pretty much it. No electricity or anything like that. Then there's another couple campgrounds up the river. There's one of the other competitive outfitters on the river, Shotgun Eddie's, has a campground that's got pretty much parties all the time. Now there's also one other private campground farther up the river, and it's a nice place. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but maybe we'll come up with it a little later, and that way I can let you know then. Now, some things you're going to need for this little trip is, one, you're going to need life jackets. Now, Ralph, he supplies life jackets for you, but they're the big orange Mae West type of things, and they're just god-awful and bulky, so you can bring your own life jackets, and they don't mind. The other thing is you're going to need a waterproof box to put your camera in, or your cell phone, or your keys, or your money, or whatever. Because along the river here, they have a couple of places where you can pull over and get a hot dog or a bratwurst and a couple of beers or whatever. You might want to bring some extra water too, and some carabiners to hook that stuff into your raft, along with a small ice chest. Our ice chest is full of just what it's always full of, and that's good old-fashioned beer. But you can have water and sodas and snacks and whatever. And we always bring a little bit of beef jerky sticks and stuff like that. Now, we're having fun out here today. And we've been doing a lot of segments on the water this summer because, back home, the water's been too high to go fishing. So we haven't done too much fishing, but we're hoping to get into it a little bit later on this year, and maybe we'll get into some hunting too this fall. But right now, we're on the Wolf River up here in Kenosha, or Kashina, Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Oh, one other thing you might want to bring is a little bit of sunscreen and some bug spray. We're having a little trouble with the gnats out here on the river, but it's not too awful bad. The real water's up. We're looking to have a good time here on anywhere between these class 1 to class 5 rapids. And you know what? Hey, take a pan around at this beautiful river. And even if you don't go on the whitewater, you just come up here and just to go on a canoe float or something before you hit the rapids and you portage around the rapids, this is a beautiful river up here. It's one of the more primitive and pristine rivers in northern Wisconsin. And we've just been having a great time. And like I said, the show's all about doing things on the cheap. And this whole trip will probably come into you with the camping and the whitewater rafting, not including your travel here, depending on where you live. Will probably come in under $200 for you and your family. And that's really not too bad for a nice weekend coming out of the backyard. And that's what we're about, doing stuff out of your own backyard. It's always fun to bring a group up here. This time me and my lovely bride are here on our own. We don't have a group with us because we couldn't talk none of them rat, scaredy cat, low rent suckers to come up here with us this time. and it was a little short notice. So anyway, we're having a good time here on the Wolf River in northern Wisconsin, and hey, well, this is Backyard Outdoors. I'm Will, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Hey, this is Will, and I'm at Backyard Outdoors, and hey, we're coming up on our first obstacle. It's a little bitty Class 2, and then it hits 2 more right after that, Class 3s, and between Class 3 and Class 2 rapids. You got to remember what rapids run on. Rapids run on a class system from 1 to 7. 1 being the small, like ripple lakes, and 2 going up and up and up. And a Class 5 is pretty brutal. You get anything much over Class 5 in a raft, you're going to have to basically portage around it, especially in this type of rafts. But hey, we're going to start getting our life jackets on here, because you know, when we're on flat water, which is what this is, there ain't no rapids, you can do whatever you want. But when you get towards the rapids, it's a good idea to put the life jacket on, because you know, as we've said before on other rivers, you don't want no one going glug, 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 glug. Anyway, the thing is if you happen to dump in the river, you got to keep your feet pointed down current, keep your toes up so you don't get them caught under rocks, hang on to your paddle at all costs, because if you lose your paddle in the next set of white rapids, it's going to get ugly, because you don't want to go down sideways. Sideways would be bad. Now, we're not going to be able to show any film footage of my lovely bride and I going down the water, because, well, we're filming. But we might be able to show some photos and some film of some other folks coming down the same set of rapids that we do. So hey, stay tuned, and I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors.